Deep breaths to get going. I'm not used to talking to a camera. So I've not made a YouTube video in a while. I've been busy, you know, been in Dubai, been dealing with an injury. Business has been busy. We've been putting new events together, new services in the business. It's been a wild few weeks. And yeah, a few topics have come to mind about what to talk about, and today we're going to talk about how to figure out who you are truly. A lot of people come post their teen days, end up going a different route. You know, you're young, you're living life, you have your hobbies, you have no stresses, and then you go into college, university, come across many new different people, enter many different sort of activities, and then you enter the life of work, and then you end up meeting even more new people. You end up going down path A, B, C, maybe A, B and C, different terms, different periods, different years of your life. You're living a totally different life, totally different person, until eventually at one point you're having a identity crisis, or you end up, you know, some people end up with addictions. I see it many of times. Some people end up with depression, and many of these people don't actually get rid of their addictions or their depression ever. There's some people you come across in their 50s, in their 40s, in their 70s, they're still addicts to whether it's drugs, alcohol, procrastination. You can be addicted to procrastination, addicted to being moody, bipolar, whatever it is. You don't have to be diagnosed. It's nothing fancy. It's just someone who doesn't know themselves 100% yet, and they do not have control of their emotions yet. Now we're getting into it. So what are the perks of getting to know oneself? So we're gonna disadvantages. Yeah. One of the perks of getting to know yourself is you don't waste time anymore. So time, better quality. You're into your games, you're into your sports, you're into playing football, you're into spending time with your friends, family, and then later down the line you find yourself in pubs around smelly fuckers. You know, you find yourself in places where people are smoking weed, God knows, areas that you don't even want to be in. What is the disadvantage to that? Dramas. You end up in fights, you end up in coming across girls that are just no good, end up doing your head in, whatever, doing you over because they're all drunk and they're just partying their lives away. They're not really ready for anything serious yet. They're not really on the same path as you. They're not nerdy. You know, they ain't interested in gaming. They're not interested in any hobbies or sports. They're just out here to party. The guys as well, just here to smoke weed. They don't know who they are themselves yet. That's why they're smoking weed in the first place, to forget about reality, to calm themselves down with a drug, not finding it internally, the peace. And also wasted money. The amount of money I wasted, right, in places on planet Earth that I weren't really interested in. Now they all served a purpose. Now, you know, you can end up going down the wrong path, but you may need it. I needed it to better my personality. I needed it to increase my XP. I needed it to gain clients. You know, when I was in certain places, I was giving out business cards. You know, it might not be a place where I wanted to be, or it stunk and it wasn't my scene, but I was making sure I got something out of it. Secondly, not knowing yourself will have you eaten alive by people, men, bosses, females. You will be manipulated. You won't know who you are. In debates, you won't know what's right, you won't know what's wrong, you don't know what you truly believe, you don't know what you don't agree with, you don't know what you do agree with, because you don't know yourself. So the perks of knowing yourself is no manipulation. And the disadvantage of it is you're made a mockery of. Being unsure. You are not sure of yourself and your opinions, right? Now, if you can't be manipulated, what does that show? If you are a human being that cannot be manipulated in any conversation, how would your body language be? Upright, confident, assertive. Another perk of knowing yourself better, you'll be more confident. Not in just debates, but the walk through life, walking the street, no anxiety. You see it in my top. No anxiety, you won't be afraid of anything. Someone might try to take the piss out of you, the mockery, but you'll counter it because you won't care. You know what you're about, you know what the world's about. Now, not knowing yourself, right? Some people that aren't 100% about themselves and their opinions and who they are, the unsure, now being unsure of things and not 100% certain on things would leave your emotions in tatter. One day you'll be feeling a certain way, one day you'll be feeling a certain way, one day you'll be in a certain place, yeah, and you'll be enjoying it. One day you won't be enjoying it, and your friends will be like, what, like, yes, last week he was calm, the week after he's fine, one week he's punching things and arguing and fighting, the next week he's fine. I've seen it. There's been people in the friendship group like that, and you know, they end up falling out with friends because of all their confusion and their anger and this and that and this and that, and then the friends end up fucking them off, and then a few years on they're back together again. It comes down to time wasted, dramas. So your emotions are dealt with. Perks, right? So disadvantage is reckless emotions, and that can be with friends, family, a girlfriend, anyone, right? And the perk of that is better relationships. And another thing I'd like to add, because I don't want to go on forever, is you're more confident, right? So you'll say things straight up. Whether your opinion's right or wrong, who knows the facts? Only God knows the facts. Everything is perspective. But the important part is making sure your perspective only gets better and molds around your true personality. So that is the same as this. Confidence. With confidence comes better relationships. You can say things how it is, you can get over it. You can debate better. Yeah? I'm going to add debates on here as well. So, debates / arguments 1. I'm going to get to how you figure out who you are eventually. First, I'm talking about the perks and disadvantages so you can learn how important it is. To finish this off, because I want to get onto how you figure it out, is if you're not being manipulated and you're confident and your communication's better and you're not wasting money, you're stacking, you're living life on your terms, no matter what anyone else says. So the disadvantage of not knowing yourself is life is not truly lived. Because when other people are telling you to do things, or telling you how you should be, telling you how you should think, telling you what's right, you may get upset because you don't agree with it, right? But if you know who you are and the actual truths, they can blab on about whatever they want to blab on. You don't have to argue with them. You can just walk away from the conversation 5 minutes on after they're done yapping and know what's right in your head and be fine about it. Your life, yeah, is not lived if other people's opinions, right, and what they have to say determines your mind, your decisions, your mindset, your opinions. That is not your life. You're living their life. You're living the life they want you to live. That is not truly your life. That is why it's important, again, I repeat it again, to know who you are so you don't get manipulated. Now let's go on to part 2. How do you get there? You know, sometimes when you don't know yourself, you end up going through different things, different stages, different hairstyles, dress senses, friends, relationships, everything. But it's not the end of the world. As long as you learn eventually who you are, it's all molded you. Your knowledge has gotten better, your XP is getting better, you've tried it all anyway. So when you eventually do come back to who you are, it'll be a better quality of life because you've tried it all. It won't be on the back of your mind to try this, try that, because you've already done it, you've made the mistakes, you've tried this, you've tried that. So, who are you? Now, first of all, so when you're young, your hobbies. What did you like? I liked gaming a lot. I liked watching movies, all of that. Now, there was one point in my life where, because I was so busy with things constantly, every single day, every single evening, I was so busy with things that weren't truly me. But that doesn't matter anymore. I was busy with other things, occupying my mind, dealing with traumatic experiences, getting over things and trying to figure out things and, all the dramas that you don't need to deal with. I ended up forgetting about my hobbies. I played football here and there, but I lost touch of watching movies. I lost touch of playing PlayStation. I used to smash so many games off, all these storyline games, everything. I hadn't touched my PlayStation in forever. I was constantly finishing work, right, and going straight out to Linkerbird or straight out with the lads instantly. Then one day I thought to myself, I was like, who am I truly? I haven't played games in ages. There's so many games I need to catch up on. So what I did one day is I got my phone. I sat down on my PlayStation, put my phone away next to the TV, far away from me, about 2 feet away from me. I put the phone in front, face down, so no matter who messages me, I don't even hear it, and I put it on silent. I put the PlayStation on. First day, right, I didn't enjoy it. I did not enjoy it, yeah? But I didn't look at my phone. Second day, I was like, yo, as if I'm not enjoying this. I remember like wanting to look at my phone, and I was just like, yo, this is a bit weird. Second day, I went back into it. Only the second day, and I enjoyed it. Boom. I got my hobbies back. I started enjoying it. Then I started playing it every day. And I'd look at my phone, and if someone was to see me, I could have easily just met with anyone. Do you want to come out? Whatnot. But I avoided it. And I started enjoying my evenings more. They were more chill, more calm, less dramas. That's one thing. Now, what about you? What do you remember yourself doing as a kid that you don't do now and you actually really enjoyed it as a kid? That's one step. Second of all, right, finances. You go through a stage, you're buying the drip, you're wasting hundreds and thousands on clothes and whatnot. Comes to a point where you think, you know what, I'm wasting a bit of money. I remember having everything Gucci, Burberry, Balmain, everything was there. And it paid off well at one point, when I was going to certain places, I looked fresh, I looked good, I felt good. But is that really who you are? Are you a materialistic person? Now, some people are, and if you are, that is fine, you carry on. That is fine, you carry on. But for some people, they might be wearing crap clothes, not really stylish, and they might not like themselves, they might not like looking in the mirror, they might feel really unconfident. Think about it. How do you want to dress? What sort of dress sense are you about? Right? So your dress sense. And find it. Sit down, what colours are you into? Are you a colourful guy? Are you more a black and white guy? Are you into your beiges? Have a look into different styles, hairstyles, everything. It molds into who you are. Your physical look also helps with your communication as well as your mental. So it's both the same. Your car. What car do you want? What car do you want? Now, you might not actually care. You might be watching social media and thinking about, oh, Ferrari, I want a Ferrari one day. And you're all unhappy and you're just chasing things, and you're seeing all this stuff on social media that's affecting you. But what if you actually don't care about that? People like Andrew Tate, they actually have supercar addictions. Now, that is who he is. And recently I realised I don't even want a supercar. Why am I thinking about a supercar? I've never been interested in cars. I don't even like driving. Some people are. So I got it out of my mind that I am not a materialistic person, and I'm not interested in supercars. I'm not, and it wouldn't suit the business I'm in anyway, right? And the car that I've always wanted, I've had. So again, as I was saying before, reminding yourself often of who you are it brings you back down to reality, because sometimes social media just suck you into the matrix. And you know, it was a better, it actually helped my mindset, makes you happier. Alright? Knowing who you are daily and reminding yourself brings you back to reality, and it can make you a bit more content and makes you a bit more positive and everything. Now, the most important part about figuring out who you are is this: sitting down with a diary. This is the last part of this video, and this is what I'm going to talk about. Get a diary, right? And write down, what are you doing that you don't like about yourself, whether it's the way you talk, even just the way you're talking. Is that truly who you are? Are you actually a roadman? Where did you come from? Are you proud of yourself? If your younger self was looking at you, right, when you were young, would he be proud of you? Would you be proud of yourself? If not, change it. Work on talking a bit better. Every day, bit by bit, work on it. There was once upon a time when I first moved from Blackburn, I used to talk a bit grim. I've seen it with a few people, and then you have to alter it to be a bit more professional. Worked in pharmacy, had to deal with old English women from the area, posh women, whatnot. Obviously business as well, you have to talk quite well. You can't be talking like, oh, this and all this your whole life. Do you understand? What do you like about yourself, and what do you not like about yourself? Write it all down, right? And write what you want to be like on the other side. Your opinions, think about your opinions and everything. What you liked as a kid, what you liked and what you're not doing, what you need to be doing. And that is how you find yourself, mate. What sort of girl do you want? Have you even decided yet? Do you even know what you're after? Do you even know what sort of level you want to be on? Do you know what sort of house you want one day? Think about it all. Think about it in detail and write it down in your diary and work towards it day by day. And in each page, each week you go on, you tick it off. Right? You tick it off. I've got it all here, look. For years I've been doing it. And that is what it takes. Till eventually one day you know exactly who you are and you're acting by it daily. And no matter what anyone says, anyone, anywhere, it doesn't affect you emotionally, mentally, anything. You have to act fast, lads. You have to figure it out ASAP to avoid wasting time, just as we spoke about at the start, and to live a better quality of life ASAP. If you want to walk around with confidence, if you want to live life confidently, these are the things that matter. Finding out who you are, liking yourself. You can't love someone else before loving yourself. It doesn't work that way. And what life is better than a life where you are working on everything going forward? Working on your communication, working on how you look, working on your mindset, working on your businesses, trying to make more money, trying to help others, trying to better your faith, everything. But how are you going to better it all if you don't know who you are? It's going to be scattered. It's going to be a mess. You're going to be in limbo. I'll see you on the next video, lad.